Welcome to Big Screen Board Games with the Dukes of Dice.
This is Sean.
And Alex.
Hey Alex, did you hear that they're making movies based off Catan and Monopoly?
Yeah, unfortunately they are. And quite frankly, we think there are board games that would make for much better movies. What we're going to do in this series is take a board game and then pitch a movie idea that stays true to the game, but would still make for an exciting, enjoyable film.
So what's our first pick, Alex?
How about Blood Bowl Team Manager?
Blood Bowl Team Manager is a card game set in the Warhammer fantasy world, where the different races compete against one another in a violent version of American football.
This could be the perfect fit as a sports comedy. Think Bad News Bears or Major League.
Here's how it goes. The Altdorf Alicorns is a human Blood Bowl team that's seen far better days. It's now made up of a ragtag group of misfits who haven't won a single game in recent years.
Young Gunter Gunn Gunderman, whose father was an all-star for the Alicorns but in the glory days, wants nothing more than to play for the team and avenge his father's death.
He was killed by a dirty play during a match against the top-rated Chaos team, Khorne's Blood Crushers. Gunn is played by Liam Hemsworth, hot off his success in The Hunger Games and a bunch of other movies I haven't seen.
When Gunn joins the Alicorns, he's welcomed by a close friend of his father's, the head coach, played by Bruce Willis. However, the team captain, played by Clive Owen, initially makes things difficult for Gunn, as he and Gunn's fathers were rivals back in the day. The Alicorns start their season playing a Goblin team and lose badly. They can't quite contend with the Goblin Fanatics, Pogors, and Bombers.
Next, they play the Blood Crushers, who blow them out of the water. Although there is a tense confrontation between Gunn and the captain of the Blood Crushers, who killed his father. The captain is played by none other than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Now, after that crushing defeat, Gunn rallies the team, much to Clive Owen's chagrin. What follows is an obligatory 80s-style training montage, and then a montage of games against the different fantasy races. This movie, literally 80% montage, Sean.
We could see a Groot-style treeman from the Wood Elves, trolls from the Orcs, rat ogres from the Skaven. It goes on and on. These would all be great sports action sequences with a lot of variety.
Of course, this is all building up towards the Alicorns trying to make it to the Blood Bowl tournament.
And there's also an obligatory tavern fight. The Alicorns and the Blood Crushers, they wind up in the same tavern. They have some words. They start fighting. It breaks out. The constabulary comes to arrest them. And then Bruce Willis shows up and he's like, boys will be boys. And, there's a love interest too, of course.
Well, there has to be, right? So, do the Alicorns make it to the Blood Bowl? Does Gunn get revenge for his father's death? Yeah, probably. It's a pretty formulaic movie. This is not Rocky we're talking about here, Sean.
And the tagline, Alex?
Blood Bowl Team Manager. You'll never think of fantasy football the same.
Is this a movie you'd like to see?
Would you cast it differently?
Let us know in the comments below. Until our next movie pitch, this is Sean.
And Alex.
And we're the Dukes of Dice.